In this video, we will be solving triangles using the law of sines, focusing on something called the ambiguous case. That's when we are given side-side angle, two sides and the non-included angle. And we can't be sure whether or not there will be one triangle, two triangles, and sometimes no triangles can be formed with this set of information. So anytime you see that you have two sides given and one angle, here's how I want you to set it up. Go ahead and draw yourself a horizontal line. Okay, and then draw an angle on the left-hand side like this. Okay, about like that. Now I'm going to think of this point as a hinge, and I'm going to make a swing side, and in my mind I'm picturing this like a rope that can swing from side to side. So that's why I'm making this dotted, because it's temporary, it's mobile. Okay, it's a swing. Now the other side, I'm leaving it solid to illustrate that this is rigid, it's not moving. So here's where I want you to put your angle right here. So take the one angle that you're given. Okay, so I'm seeing this is 110 degrees, and here I've drawn an acute angle. So that's going to mess me up. I can't put 110 degrees here inside of an acute angle. So that changes things. So I am going to redo this to make this an obtuse angle. So watch out for that. So this will be my rigid side, but I'm just going to go ahead and draw it as an obtuse angle. So here is my 110 degrees. Now I'm still going to make this my swing side, but hopefully quickly you will see that we don't have options. This is really the only way the triangle can be formed. So anyway, this is angle C. So that makes this side C, so the 125 has to go here. Go ahead and let the other side that you're given be the rigid side. So I'm going to put the 100 right here. If this is side A, then that means across from it must be angle A. So I'm going to go ahead and call this angle A. That leaves angle B to be this. So even though this is a side-side angle, there's only one triangle that can be formed when this is an obtuse angle. There's no swinging to worry about. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and solve the one triangle that we are given. So let's talk about the pieces of information that we're going to need. We're missing these two angles, so we're going to have to find the measure of angle A and the measure of angle B. We're missing this side over here, which is side B. So to solve this triangle, we will need to find these three pieces of information. So let's put all of those in a box. Okay, let's look for the two pieces of information that we have across from each other. Okay, we have angle C and side C. So when we set up the law of sines, we're definitely going to use that. Now, we have a choice when we set up the law of sines. Do we want to put the angles in the top and the sides in the bottom? Or do we want to put the sides in the top and the angles in the bottom? And I go by what I'm looking for. So the right now I'm looking for the measure of angle A. So whatever I'm looking for, I'm going to put it in the top. So since I'm looking for the measure of angle A, I'm going to put sine A in the top. It just saves me one step. And then I'm going to put side A in the bottom. So when I do my my angle and my side for angle C and side C, I'm going to put the sine of angle C in the top, and I'm going to put side C in the bottom. So now, in order to get sine A by itself, I'm going to multiply both sides by 100. So I can just put 100 on both sides. Now these 100s will cancel out, leaving sine A. Now I don't actually want sine A. Ultimately, I want the measure of angle A. So if I want the actual angle, I need to find the inverse sine of all of this, because the inverse sine is the angle. So notice I don't make a decimal right now. I just leave it like it is. And I say the inverse sine of all of it. So 100 sine 110 over 125. Okay, the inverse sine of all that should equal angle A. And I just put all of this in my calculator at once, and that will give me the measure of angle A. So I got 48.743, rounded to the nearest thousandth. Use 3 decimal places, please. Okay, so might as well go ahead and put that in my picture now. So I have 48.743 now. So now I see I have 2 angles. So I should be able to find the third very quickly by subtracting these 2 from 180. So that's what I'll do. So that gave me 21.257. Okay, that just leaves side B that I need to find. So again, I'm going to do the law of sines. But this time I'm looking for a side. So I'm going to put the sides in the top this time. So again, looking at these 2 pieces of information, but I'm going to put side C in the top this time. And I'm going to put the sine of angle C in the bottom. So that now I can put side B in the top and the sine of angle B in the bottom. Alright, and doing it this way, I don't have to cross multiply, it just saves me 1 step. So to get B by itself, I will multiply both sides by the denominator, sine 21.257. I'm going to multiply it by that on both sides. Okay, so over here these will cancel out, and that will leave me with B. So I'm just going to put this entire expression in my calculator all at once. So I am getting 48.227. And that's it. We have solved the triangle. Let's do one more. Again, as soon as I see that we have 2 sides and an angle, I am worried that this is going to be the ambiguous case side-side angle as opposed to side angle side. And so I'm always going to draw my picture the same way. I'm going to go ahead and make a horizontal line first, and then I'm going to draw my angle over here on the left hand side like this. Okay, I'm going to think of this as a hinge, and I'm going to draw my swing side, and I'm going to think of it as a rope that can swing left and right. I don't know if it'll reach, I don't know if it'll make 1 triangle, I don't know if it'll make 2 triangles, I don't know yet. That's why I'm showing it as a dotted line. Go ahead and put your angle, the one angle that you're given, put it here. And so this is angle A. And if this is angle A, that makes this side A across from it. So I have to put my 26 here. Now, so that's one of the two sides. The other side you should put as your rigid side, your non-moving side. So I'm going to take this 29 and put it here. Okay, now that is side B, so that automatically makes this angle B across from it, and that leaves this angle to be angle C. So before we do anything else, we have to decide, so we see this is side-side angle. So this is the ambiguous case. So we have to decide, will this make a triangle at all? And the way we decide if it makes a triangle at all is by considering the height. Let's calculate the height to see if this rope will reach. Okay, so if this is the height, I'm just going to call it h. We can calculate it by doing the sine of 58. The sine of 58, that's going to be opposite over hypotenuse, so that'll be h over 29. If I multiply by 29 on both sides, then that's going to give me 29 sine 58 is equal to this height. If I put this in my calculator real quick, okay, 29 sine 58, I'm going to get 24.593. Okay, so the height is 24.6. I'm just going to round this for a moment, because I just needed to tell, will this rope, for my swing side, will the rope reach? And yes, it will, because 26 is longer than 24.6. So that means this rope is long enough to reach the other side. So far that tells me that I will have at least one triangle, all right, the triangle that looks like this. The question is there a second triangle that I could also make? All right, so there's at least one. Will there be two? Okay, if there's a second triangle, it'll be formed by swinging this rope inward like this. Okay, so I'm going to take my 26 rope and swing it inward like this. So that would put the 26 here. So the question is, will this fit? Will this fit right here? And yes, it will. I'm looking at the rigid side, the 29. Sometimes this won't fit, because say if this were 30, it would be too big, it would go outside the triangle, it wouldn't fit. But since 26 is less than 29, it will fit right here. So we will have two triangles. We will have one triangle that's out like this, and we will have one triangle that's in like this. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and draw the second triangle, okay, side by side. So, okay, see if you can follow this. All right, see, here comes the 26. All right, so this is a picture of this triangle right here, the skinnier triangle formed over here. So this is my 58 and my angle A, and this is my 29, and this would be my angle C, and this would be my angle B for the red triangle. Okay, oh, and this would be 26. Okay, so we have both of these triangles. Let's go ahead and solve the blue triangle first. So what are the pieces of information that I'm going to need? We have angle A. I'm going to need to find the measure of angle B. So the measure of angle B is missing, and we'll need to find the measure of angle C as well. And the only side we're missing is side C, so we're going to have to find that. So to solve the blue triangle, we will need to find these three pieces of information. And of course we will do that using the law of sines. So the first thing I'm going to go after is angle B. Alright, because I see that that's something that I need, but it's across from a number that I have. So let's go after the measure of angle B. Now, so as I set up my law of sines, I have to decide, am I going to do the version where I put the angles in the top, or do I do the version where I put the sides in the top? Now, I go by whatever it is I'm trying to find, I put in the top. So if I'm going to try to find the angle B, then I'm going to put the sine of angle B in the top. It saves me one step. Okay, so I'm going to do the sine of angle B in the top, which means I'm going to put side B in the bottom. So looking at the angle and side that we have across from each other, both values, I'm going to do the sine of angle A over side A. And that's how I'm going to set it up. So I need to get the sine of B by itself. So I can do that by multiplying both sides by 29. Okay, so these 29s will cancel each other out, and now I just have sine B by itself. Okay, that's great, but I really want angle B, not the sine of angle B. So if you want to find an angle, you're talking about the inverse trig function. Always gives you the angle. Okay, so I need to do the inverse sine of all of this. Don't make it a decimal first, just put the entire expression in. So I'm going to do the inverse sine of 29 sine 58 over 26. And that will give me angle B. So I'm just going to put all of this in my calculator at once. I got 71.067 for angle B. Okay. Now I need to find angle C, but hey, I have two angles now. Finding the third angle is easy. I just subtract these two from 180. So that's what I'll do. So that is 50.933. Okay, that just leaves side C that I need to find. So I'm going to do the law of sines again. Okay, but this time, because I'm looking for a side, I'm going to put the sides in the top. So looking at the same pair that I have from the beginning, the angle A and side A, but this time I'm going to put the 26, I'm going to put the side in the top, and I'm going to put the sine of 58 in the bottom. So I can put side C in the top over the sine of angle C in the bottom. Alright, that just saves me one step because now I don't have to cross multiply. So to get side C by itself, I just need to multiply by sine 50.933 on both sides. Okay, so the sine 50.933 will cancel out, and that will just leave me side C by itself. So I'm just going to put all of this in my calculator. I'm getting 23.804. Okay, so that is the solution of the blue triangle. But don't forget, we have two triangles on this one. So now I need to go back and solve the red triangle. Okay, so let's think about the pieces of information that I'm going to need. Again, I'm going to need the measure of angle B and the measure of angle C. So I'm going to have to find the measure of angle B and the measure of angle C. And again, I will need to find side C as well. So to solve the red triangle, I'm going to have these three pieces of information. Okay. Now, in order to find angle B, I cannot use the law of sines because that would just give me the acute angle that I found before. That would just give me 71.067 again. So luckily, I don't have to do that. We have learned that the acute angle B and the obtuse angle B are always going to be supplementary. So I can just subtract this from 180, and that's going to give me angle B. So that's giving me 108.933. Okay, now I do want you to memorize and just automatically understand as a shortcut that when we do the swing side and we have the ambiguous case and we have two triangles, the acute angle B and well, it won't always be angle B, but this acute angle that's formed and the obtuse angle that's formed by swinging inward will always be supplementary. You can subtract from 180. But just one more time, I want to take a minute and remind you of why they are supplementary. Just remember that we formed the second triangle by taking this 26 swing side and swinging it inward like this. Alright, and that's how we got the red triangle that's formed over here on the left hand side. But because we are swinging the same rope from here to here, then they have the same length. So this is 26, but this red version of it is also 26. That sets up isosceles triangles. So if these sides are equal, then the base angles are going to be equal as well. So this acute angle B is going to be the same as this angle right here, 71.067 in both places. Now this angle over here is the angle that we are looking for now. Alright, the obtuse angle B is this right here. And so of course now these two angles are going to be supplementary because of the way they form a straight angle. Alright, so this angle can be found by subtracting 71.067 from 180. And that is the reason why we can subtract the acute angle from 180 in order to find the obtuse angle. Anyway, back to solving the red triangle. So now that we found angle B, we have two angles. So finding the third side is really easy. All we have to do is subtract these two from 180 to find the third. So angle C is 13.067 degrees. Let me see if I can squeeze that in here. 13.067. So that just leaves side C that we need to find now. So once again, I'm going to do my law of sines. Okay. Because I'm looking for a side, I'm going to put my sides in the top. So I'm going to use that same pair that we had from the beginning, angle A and side A. But this time I'm going to put the sides in the top. So I'm going to put my 26 side A over the sine of angle A, and that will leave me to do side C over the sine of angle C. Okay, setting it up this way, I don't have to cross multiply. All I have to do is multiply both sides by sine of 13.067. Okay, so these will cancel out, and that will leave side C by itself. So I'm just going to put this entire expression in my calculator all at once. So I'm seeing 6.932. And that is the solution of the red triangle. So we had two solutions for problem number 8. We had the solution of this red triangle, and we had the solution of the blue triangle. Alright, that's going to do it for this video. I hope it was helpful, and I will see you on the next video.